Hey everyone, today I'm going to walk you through the stepped version of the side step animation with the Stewart rig. I hope you enjoy it and let's get right into it. Okay, here we are in Maya. The first thing I've done is I've set up a scene where I've made a plane in the background and these two platforms that he's standing on, and this is the gap that he's going to step over. I placed them on a layer and then turned them into a reference so I can't select them, right? So they're non-selectable items at this moment. Then what I did is I created a selection button up here on in my customs tab that allows me to select all of Stewart's controls. So the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure I have everything selected, right? On frame one, this is where he's going to be kind of just standing there looking, right? That's basically what he's doing in this frame right here, something simple. Then I'm going to move over about, we'll say 7 frames. He's going to shift his weight over or to his right, screen left, and kind of rotate towards that gap. Going to shift his, because he shifted weight on the other side. We got to adjust his spine to show the weight. If you notice, I am animating in the perspective view, which I don't always do. I actually don't recommend doing that at all at first, if you're used to it. Because what happens is you can move it one way, and the next thing you know, your object is all over the place. So you just got to be careful. All right. So let me select everything, hit the S key, right? And we'll see the difference. So there you go. Okay. I am going to come in a, later on and put in a breakdown of the weight shift, because right now it's a very linear movement. I also want to turn this foot out. Foot roll on that one. Go. Goes like that. Maybe that's too much of a turn. There we go. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Then the next frame, I'm going to go over, and these frames right now, I'm not doing anything in any type of like timing. I'm going to mess with the timing later. I'm just going to go over 5, 6 frames, and then I'm going to have Stewart lift up and kind of going to, let me do it from the side view. He's going to lift up this foot. Okay. Prepare to step over here, this area. But to do that right now, if he's not moving super fast, he's going to fall right over. So we need to balance him out. So counter, balance his weight. Right? So you want him to make sure that he's in balance, but you want to do it from multiple sides. Like right now, he's little. I'm on the right. I need to be world view. Go. Or world, according to the world space, not the object space. Do I want him to lift his foot up super, super high? Let's see. I think that should be good. All right, select everything. Maybe I'm going to bend his spine just a little bit more. Give it more of a forward bit. His head dip down far. Lining this up. There we go. Get it from the side. He's looking at where he's going. Then my next pose, he's going to be stepping over. So he's going to be leaning really far over to the left or screen left, his right. So he's going to go like this, right? And then he's going to stretch this foot out really far. Probably about right there. Down. Obviously not going to be broken like that. So got to make sure that him over. Want to make sure that both of the knees are aimed the right direction. And it's usually helpful if you bring both of pole vectors out away from the leg. It stops it from doing a weird twist or something. So then let's select everything, hit S, toggle through real quick. Yeah, did you see what happened there? Now I got to go back and change everything. Did that on the wrong frame. Okay. First thing we toggle. Then we come over here to, I don't know, go 6 frames from there. Then we can do exactly what we just did. Lay his foot out. Now, some people, they'll zero out all the rotations, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I've never, I usually don't remember. I don't say never, but I usually don't remember to do that. I just usually just animate or move my characters the way I need to. Okay. One of the things that you want to do, body mechanics wise, is you want to make sure that he's leaned over. So he's balancing out his weight shift. Right? Also, probably is going to arm forward a little bit. That. Wanted. Splay out these fingers a bit so that he's trying to as much of his body as he can to stay in balance. Give it a better silhouette. Go. Right? This arm is going to come up. Second bar, and that. Display his hands out like this. So at this point, usually, when you do something like this type of movement, you're either going to ball your fist up or you're going to splay them out a bit. And it's a balancing thing that we do naturally. I see a lot of kids do it a lot when they're first starting to walk. Their hands will be either balled up like fists or they'll be spread open like little paddles. But you don't want to spread it open where it's where it's not natural looking. You want to open them up just a little bit. You want to make sure that it's not bad silhouette. So you rotate the hand. Go. There we go. That, with everything, you want to make sure that the body bending. Okay, two. Grab both of these. Makes it easier to rotate them. Both of them taking the rotations. Okay. You want to take these pole vectors, like I said, move them out away from the body. Make sure you're stretching out. Now, this leg, a lot of people would think that this leg would be perfectly straight, and it's not. It'll be out there, but it won't be perfectly. It won't be like that. Oh, maybe bring this that. Bring this leg or this knee. Face it more. Go. Almost looks like faded in way here. There we go. Was rotated in the wrong way. Arm right here is starting to come up. That guy up just a little bit. And arm up. If you notice, this right here are actually twisted. The arm, you gotta be careful with the arm because you'll get gimbal lock if you're rotating in the wrong axis. Gimbal lock makes the arm like this weird flippy. Not fun to deal with. Okay? Angle his head down a little bit so we can kind of look at what he's down, just counter animate his head. Now you can see that he's looking to where he's going, right? I'm also going to do a little bit of a foot roll. Lift his foot up, okay? And then maybe a toe twist a little bit. Let's see. break his ankle. That coming away. Got to be careful that you're on the right keyframe. If you're not on the right keyframe, then you're just adding keys in a whole bunch of places. You don't want to do that. Side. That, but then down, or the outer toe down, little toes. They don't twist. They don't twist. That's the only bad thing about Stewart's feet. There's not as much ability. Got a lot of manipulation you can do to it, but you can't twist his toes. So, let me take the side off. I could do this with, because you're not going to see this very, very long, but I want to do that just a little more. There we go. Oh, yeah. Then I'm going to go over to make sure I hit everything and hit S. Right now, he's barely in balance. I can go back and tweak that in a little bit, but let me get through this. All right, so I'm going to hit S on everything, and then I'm going to move over. We'll go over 6 frames again. And on this, actually, let's do it in 4 frames. Just give us a little bit of timing, right? So then I'm going to put this on the ground. Down on the ground. Take out all these rotations. Add the Y rotation to it. I'm going to move him over where his body starts to. I'm looking over here to watch whenever his knee bends, that I can show that it's bending up like that. Right? This foot is actually going to do more of a foot roll. And it's going to kind of a toe twist, but the opposite. Well, toe twist, but he's turned his foot to go down. Okay. His foot is going to roll off the ground. Really just barely there. Something like that. Side off. Side. This foot roll off. No foot roll at all. I'm actually going to point the foot down. That toe twist out. This manually. Go. arm is going to go up higher. More. Gonna bend more, but then I'm gonna bend it back on its hip. Go. Go like that. So forward a little bit. Select everything, hit S. Then my next pose, he's actually recovering from this, which this should actually happen pretty quick. So I'll put it up like about right there. There. His foot is going to be about here. His knee inward a little bit. Also going to rotate his foot inward. Just to show a little bit of natural movement there. His foot down more. Yeah. This foot needs to be down more. But I did it again with the rotation or with the keyframes. So I had to go back and Control Z all this, put him back on the ground over here, right? Because he's supposed to be right here. This foot's supposed to be like this. This foot's supposed to be up, right? To show that he's still trying to land his feet down. Right? Turn this back towards that way. There we go. Then I have to select everything, hit S, and then move it over and put him solid on the ground the way I was doing it. Go. Put toe twist back. Bro. Foot roll down. So he's planted on the ground. I could probably lift him up just a little bit. Now I could do the thing with this foot over here. There we go. I was sitting there looking at it going, wait a minute, I missed a step. And I didn't miss it. I just had to redo it. And that's the thing that you want to make sure that you are keeping track of your frames that you're on, right? And not skipping ahead to not skipping ahead too far to miss out your keys, because actually kind of easy to kind of, it's very easy to animate a person or animate a character doing something and then get excited and go to the next frame before it's time to get it from perspective view. Oh, it's right. What I'm going to do is I'm arm. Down, back. I'm doing everything over in the perspective view, but I'm watching this 2D pan zoom the front view right here because I'm using that as my silhouette um, guidance. How I want the silhouette to look. A lot of it is based off of your silhouette. Wrist, go, kind of that bit more, pull them out. Bring these back. There we go. Select everything, hit S, right? And then this is where his foot hits the ground. So we need to go over frames. 6 for right now. Here. Translate it down to 0. All these crazy, right? That's one of the things you don't want to do. Is right now, if I were to animate that the way it was from there, it would have definitely done a gimbal lock of a foot roll on it, right? I can even do a little bit of a toe twist outward. That's a rotate. I don't want to rotate it. On it. So it rotates from the right spot. Right? So it puts its foot down like that. Or he does. Foot roll. I want to get a better silhouette out of that foot. So there we go. So this is over here. Rotated almost all the way. This. Okay, he's starting up. This arm is relaxing a little more so it comes down. Down like that. Forearm comes down. also to rotate. Sorry, that's my garbage truck out there. Forward. And make sure the clavicles look right. Actually, probably going to drop this shoulder a little bit because the way his body is shifting. However, he's still turned a little too much. Go. Still want him kind of bent over. Or bent. But bring his body up more than that. That's too far. Bring him forward. Go. His arm is going to play. Here. Like that. Select everything. Hit S. Then the next one is going to be his recovery frame, which is basically 4 frames from there. And that's almost like this frame. What we can actually do is highlight everything. Middle mouse click frame 1 and bring it over to frame 38. However, the thing you don't want to do is you don't want to have your feet and your what can happen is and your cog, because what will happen is it'll shift all the way over to that spot. So instead of being over here, he'd end up being, you know, another spot. So we'll just put it down. Take the foot roll down. Oh, that's not the foot roll, that's the foot brake. Above it. That down to 0. Pose him out. Stand him up straight. Arm. Back to where they're supposed to be. Leaning on that foot down like that. Hip be up. Now, there is a trick that you can do that you don't accidentally rotate his body bottom forward. You can use this to do his hip. Okay? Don't mess with this spot. Right? All the zeros. Okay. all you do is hips here, and then do minor tweaks with the the hip control above it. Yeah. Now you just go rotated. Funny thing is, some of these rotations so minute, right? They're very subtle. Like fingers. That there. Here. Relax the fingers so I can push the hands where I need them, or put the hands where I need them, really. And thumb in. Notice I am very cautious with how I'm doing the silhouette of these hands, so that they're not exactly the same. Forward, go, like that. Okay. You can actually rotate them in just a little bit, or flat a little bit. We can actually knees are lined up. Oh, probably raise him up a couple of, yeah, that. Side. Want him to be looking down this way. He's going to be looking that way. That. Select everything. Hit S. Now this is the start of the first blocking pass. Or this is, the first blocking pass. So let's see what it looks like from there. Bring this down to 40 frames so that it's not as long of a timeline. See the way this looks. Yeah. So I could probably, on this frame, let me make an adjustment to this knee on this frame. Keep it like that. And then this frame, bring his knee down a little bit. Here, let's see how that looks. There we go. Now it looks like he's turning his leg instead of it bending in a weird way, right? And that's your side step. Okay. So whenever you want to do your timing, you just highlight everything, you select everything, and then you move it in your timeline by holding the shift key and selecting the keys that you want. So from here to here, we also need to do another keyframe. So in frame 4, before we do the timing of that, we want to, whenever you do a weight shift, you usually uh, come up a little bit. And it's basically the in between. That might be a little too. Let me fix this real quick on frame 7. There we go. Go. Yeah. Okay. So here he's in the middle. Here he's in the middle of where he needs to be. So it'll be like this. Got him. That. So both hips are holding his weight. Got this back to 0. Rotate this back to 0. X back to 0, and the Z back to 0. Go. Head's gonna be turning that. That. Let's look at angle. Forward just a little bit. Go. So now you actually see a weight shift. And bring him up a couple of. And there we go. Bring him down this one. Yeah. I want to see that he's going up and then coming down. Look at it from bigger picture here. Make sure he's not everything is same pace. Go. Okay. And then what I would do from here to here, right? From basically here to here is halfway. I would shift him over. Let me make sure I got everything keyed first on this one. Right? I would shift. Okay. So I would shift him over a little bit more. And I would raise this foot. This. Okay. And I'm basically starting to lean him a little bit. This arm going to, his hand's gonna move. This arm's gonna move inward a little bit. Hand's gonna move up. That. And that. that is actually going to show you. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So there we go. That got the breakdowns of those spots that we needed. So now we can do the timing of things. So from here to here, timing's fine. From here to here, I want to speed up the timing of this. And I'm going to make both of these happen in 2 frames because it's not a big movement. So I'm going to highlight frame from 12 to 33 and I'm going to move it over. It's just 1 frame. So now that happens faster. Right? And then this right here can happen a little faster. I'm going to move this over 1 frame. But from actually, I think I want this to happen pretty quick. Let me move that over a couple more frames. I'm going to do that in 4 frames. Yeah. I'll do this in 4 frames. Boom. And this will happen in 2 frames. And then his recovery will happen. Boom. And I'm missing a frame now. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to stretch out 28. For some reason, his keyframe didn't save. So from here, it's going to go to frame 27. Right? Because we need the frame where he touches his feet on the ground. Right? That one again. Okay. Feet on the ground. Where does he put? Foot roll. Where he's at 0. There we go. On translation. Want his body to go a bit. That. Don't need him bent over as far. So you don't caps lock by mistake. Arms go down. Back it. His wrist. So you that. Out in front of him a little bit, but this. Okay. Select everything. S. Let's see what that looks like. So he needs more. He also needs to be higher. There we go. Okay. So this happens, right? Pretty quick. And then you want this here to here to happen pretty quick. So I'm actually gonna spread these out, make this 3 frames, and then this one as well 3 frames, right? So I know this one's too far out. Doing a weird jiggle thing right here. Yeah, boom, 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 boom. Because this guy's not moving. Gotta make sure you're on the right. Oh, so there's a keyframe in there that's locking me up. See that? But there's no keys on the keyframe. So let's take a look inside the animation editor and see what's going on. Anything else in there that's giving me that's where it is. Go. It was. These are in the wrong spot. Yep. Okay. There we go. I didn't have the foot selected, so it was making everything else bigger or jitter. See, like right here, not in the right spot yet either. So go. You want to make sure that you got all your keyframes correct. Over. Go. 3. There we go. Right here, we got another one that's goofy. Okay. So go. That worked out. Yeah. Goes like that. This one right here comes over there. There we go. I'm just playing. Then we go here. Go. That. And this is how easy your keyframes can get all moved over when you don't want them to do that. See, because right here, This foot doesn't have a keyframe right here. Seven. We're gonna make the foot roll go down. Oh, yeah. This guy. Huh. Lost its keyframe at the end. So did that one. Got an extra keyframe. Delete. 31. Take that toe twist out. I want the toe twist out on this one. Comes down. Guess I do want more. Here. See what all these other. 32. 32. I'm just gonna hit S on 32. The cog. Then bring it up. Over. That's what it needs to be there because he's on this leg. Why? Go. Oh. Actually, gonna move down. Not a bit. A little too far close. Too close to the finish there. There we. It's jittery. I don't. Almost like I'm not getting all the keyframes in there. Things are. Come on. Go. Here. Be lower. Here. Needs to be down. Oh. Here. There. Here. There. I'm going to grab everything from here. I'm going to make this closer and go 3 frames away. So let's play that. Now, arm doesn't have where everything else does. And that was weird. Just got a glitch. Well, there you go. I even got you a glitch fix in there. So that's basically how you do the initial stepping, the initial step, and then adding in some breakdowns. And then from there, you do all your tweaking, your splining, and you go from there. Okay, so that's how you do the initial blocking and then a couple of the breakdowns added in there. And then I threw in some fixes for whenever you don't have everything selected. That's basically why the timing started getting all jittery at the end, is because I didn't have all the controls selected whenever I slid the timing. So you got to make sure you have everything slid and then, or everything selected before you slide it through the timeline. You also want to make sure that you go back and you fix the foot rolls, because those don't always, the foot, like the stuff you see in the channel box for like the foot roll or the fingers or stuff like that, make sure you have those keys selected as well. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any comments or questions, just let me know and I can get back to you. Thank you for watching.